Welcome back to another episode of the Harwood Rundown podcast. It is another episode of the off season. We've just done our division previews for the season. Gone through 6 of them, so have a look at them if you're interested. We go more in depth into each team and what we are looking for this season, or what we predict. We got a great episode coming up. We've got our season award predictions. Obviously, your not usual MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Coach of the Year, Rookie of the Year, the Clutch Player of the Year, which is a new award, Six Man. But we've also included like a dark horse team, Comeback Player of the Year, Rising Star, like someone who we think's gonna like be that breakout player, as opposed to just most improved player. We got a lot going on here. And hey, Jack.
Hey, Lockie. We did have a little bit of a break in between there, in between drinks. Obviously, a few celebrations in between, which probably hindered the schedule. What's been happening? I'm kind of excited to do this one. I always like doing award predictions. I feel like there's so many options for each award this year. It was kind of hard to narrow it down. So what we've done is we've picked our award winner, and then we've kind of got a backup. So we've gone with 2 options just to play it safe, because it is really hard in this day and age to narrow it down to one player. So what I think we'll do is we'll kick off with our comeback player, and we go dark horse team, most improved, rising star, clutch player of the year, six man of the year, rookie of the year, coach of the year, defensive player of the year, and the big one, MVP. All these awards could be anyone's, so I doubt we're going to have the same answer for any of them besides our comeback player. Let's kick it off. Comeback player, we've both actually gone Ben Simmons.
Go, come on.
I've got a good feeling this year, but I don't want him to talk too early. I'd rather him just like, instead of hyping it's a media stunt. I think he's hyping the media up. Stephen A went on like a 5-minute tangent, basically, like,
Doing
I hope
Stephen A stuff.
I hope he's right. I really hope he's right. So he's my comeback player of the year. Derrick Rose is my backup.
Oh,
I don't know. I feel like he'll probably get regular time in Memphis, especially with Jar out for 25 games. I feel like he'll get the right amount of time. Obviously, Tyus Jones isn't there anymore, so you're already filling up the backup point guard role. I don't expect like a crazy comeback, but I expect him to at least be playing.
yeah, I mind that actually. I got D'Lo for my like kind of second for the comeback player of the year because I want it to be him. And I think him coming back to LA, having not a great playoff at all, but a better team around him, well, not around him, but like a better team that he's got around him, and I think he can get back to that player that we know he can be. And I want it because I do want Lakers to do well this season. So we'll see. I think he's going to be a good comeback player for this year for sure.
Yeah, and it's not even like he had a bad season last year.
No,
It's
no.
just probably the consistency is what we said in the preview. Consistency is key. If he can get back to like, I don't know, 18, 19 a game, obviously the points spread across that team is going to be quite difficult to manage. Efficiency is probably the big thing. Dark horse team. Let's go with your team. I'm always interested to hear Lockie's takes because sometimes they're either shocking or like on the money. So we're yet to find that middle ground. So I'm interested to see what your dark horse team is.
I just like being a contrarian.
That's it.
The Pistons, no. The Thunder, that's my dark horse team. I was not necessarily like, oh, they're gonna win, but I do think dark horse for like they're gonna make some noise. They're gonna have a great season. Giddy's only getting better. Like they got Chet coming in. They've got a really solid roster, young, and they got plenty of energy. Yeah, dark horse team. I can see them. I don't know what I forgot what I said in terms of their initial like placing, but I can see them making some noise in the West, like getting into
It
the
was
top
mid,
eight.
was it early 40s or something? Early 40s, mid 40s,
Yeah,
something like that.
I can see them having an incredible year and getting into the eight. Um, but we'll see. What about you?
So OKC is my backup, but I've gone, you know how high I am on this team, Minnesota. I'm really high on them this year. I think they can probably make it past the first round and potentially get like a top 5, 6 seed and not be that playing team. I think Anthony Edwards is going to have a breakout year, monster year, especially after probably he's going to have his World Cup so far has been quite impressive. So I think every player that comes out of a international tournament, you saw Laurie Markkinen with Eurobasket last year. I feel like players that have a big tournament there kind of carry that confidence across um, to the world game.
Mm.
Um, Rudy Gobert obviously knocked out of the World Cup. France got knocked out, which was crazy. Um, but yeah, Rudy Gobert, I think that duo with him and Towns at the front in the front court is going to develop to something that is manageable. I think they can make it work. Obviously, you got depth in Jaden McDaniels, Mike Conley's there, Naz Reid. There's
Mm.
just so much to like about this team. Yeah, I really hope they go well this year because if they don't, then I think there's going to be ramifications. I think players will request trades, and it won't be just one player. So
Mm.
yeah, that's my dark horse team. Who's your backup?
I got Pelicans for my backup, and now I'm actually thinking I might put them in front of the Thunder because we obviously saw what Pelicans they retained that like third seed last year when they had Zion, and then it just kind of went back. But like they still were super competitive throughout the season. Like really, they forced some really tough games. Trey Murphy is going to get better. Herb Jones is going to get better. Um, Losing Jackson Hayes sucks a bit, but like they still got a really solid all round team. And
Yeah.
this does depend on Zion being back, but I do think they're a dark horse team because Brandon Ingram is like continually proving himself. And as we spoke about in the previews, like he is developing a real all round game. So yeah, I think Pelicans can again, they're a dark horse because like I feel like they can come out of nowhere and have a really good start to the season, kind of like how Blazers did. But we'll see.
Yeah, nice. I do like the pick. I think, yeah, they're hard to judge when Ingram and Zion are both in and out of the lineup. McCollum
Mm.
was obviously in and out of the lineup at the end of the season. So, yeah, I feel like a full season under their belt. Definitely a dark horse team. They disrupted the Suns not last season, the season before. They've definitely got it in them to kind of ruffle some feathers. A bit like the Thunder. They're kind of the same
Mm.
mindset. So yeah, it'll be good to see how they perform this year. Most improved player, alluding back to the guy I was talking about before, Anthony Edwards. He's my most improved player.
Oh, wow.
Like I said before, he's going to take a massive jump. And I seriously believe this guy's going to. I'm basically an Anthony Edwards stan. Um, the dude is going to have a breakout year. I've been saying it for a few weeks now, a few months since the season ended. The mentality is there as well. You don't often see in players that are up and coming that they've already got that mindset, but his mindset is already there. You can see in the Denver series, he was probably one of the only ones that was confident that they could come back from down 3-0. So yeah, I really hope he has a big year. I think he averaged 22 last year. If he can get to like 28, I think that's enough to win most improved, and I think he can honestly do it.
Mm.
Because the point spread on that team isn't that much. You've really got
Yeah.
him, Cat, Niles Reed averages 13 off the bench. Mike Conley will average like 10 or 15. Jaden McDaniels will have a big season as well. So it's not that crazy that he can average that. It's just
Mm.
putting the right situation around him. Back up, Josh Giddey. This dude could average a triple double, and it
Mm.
wouldn't surprise me if he did. I know that's big. Like, he probably won't average a triple double, but he has the capability to be averaging a triple double. Um, yeah, I just think OKC overall is going to have a big year. You're going to see OKC spread throughout these award predictions because I just think
Mm.
they're gonna shake up the league, and I don't think many teams are ready for it. So yeah, Josh Giddey's my backup. But honestly, $21 to win most improved, I'd definitely be tossing a little 10
10 or
bucker
5.
a 10 bucker Rooney on it.
um, yeah, I got a couple that mix between my most improved, and rising star. But I think most improved for who I think. Oh my god, I wrote it down, but I forgot who I. But then I've just deleted it or something. Um, that's fine. We'll come back to that. I'll come back to that after.
Right.
Um, but for my well, Giddy was obviously there. That was for like I guess most improved because he's him getting that tournament, like FIBA tournament experience as well. All those guys getting that experience is going to be huge for their development. Um, but yeah, for me, I guess for like actually, I'd say for most improved, I'm gonna go OG Anunoby or Scotty Barnes. With Fred VanVleet out, it kind of opens
Yeah.
a way for one of them. I'm gonna say Scotty Barnes a bit more, just because I feel like they will put the ball in his hands a bit more, and I feel like OG might eventually be like a trade piece.
Yeah,
Um,
probably. Yeah.
having Scotty Barnes, who's like as big as the guys he is a point guard as well. Like he's able to facilitate, and super skilled. So you just got to get those fundamentals in him, and I feel like he's willing to take on that role. So yeah, I'd say Scotty Barnes for that. But I had a bunch of other people in mind. I had Austin Reeves, obviously, because he's really come out of nowhere, but being very consistent. Like not just had like a really big spurt. He's been consistent. He's been playing well in FIBA. Um, I had Sengun as well on the Rockets. I think he's going to have a huge season. And like they do need I feel like if anyone to build around on the Rockets, it's him. I wouldn't even build around Jalen Green. Um, we look at Jokic building around him. Look what's
Yeah.
happened there. Um, had Trey Murphy as well, because I think he's going to have another
Oh, I
lift.
really like that pick. That's a really good pick. Wow.
First pick you like from me.
Yeah.
Trey Murphy, I think, big one. And I got
Yeah.
Benedict Mathurin as well. I just wanted to include all of them because like I think they're all going to have big spurts, but
Yeah.
I think overall,
Too hard to pick.
I think Trey Murphy out of that group will have like a big rising go. What about you?
So is that your rising star, right?
That's my rising star. Yeah,
Okay. So the way I categorized it was I had players under the age of 23 or under and don't have like huge coverage or huge roles. So, and I had like heaps of options. So number one, my rising star is Alperen Sengun. 14 and like 9 last season, 21 years old. Like
yeah.
it's crazy. And he's going to have a way bigger role this year. Not saying he didn't have a big role last year, but Houston are going to get better as a team. Ime Udoka is going to know how to use his big men correctly. Obviously, Steven Silas, the coach last season, really poor. So I think new management, new coaching staff, new players they brought in. I think Fred's going to be really good for him as well. Dylan Brooks going to be good for the kind of that dog mentality.
Mm,
Um, and like you said before, building a team around a big man is not like weird
mm,
anymore. Like yeah, like you said, like Nikola Jokic, the whole team was built around him, and look what's happened. Embiid haven't got there yet, but
mm,
Alfred Sengun is going to be definitely one to look out for in the future. Backup, Jaden McDaniels, bigger role, more minutes. I'm really excited. He's got it. He's got it there. It's just how do they use him, kind of effectively. So yeah, that's my two rising stars. Clutch player of the year. I mean, I think this one's pretty easy, but I don't know if you picked it. Darren Fox led the league in clutch points last season. By your reaction, I'm going to say he didn't.
nah.
Um, and then my backup Shea. I think big
Yeah.
moments for both of them last season. Um, and yeah, a lot of those wins for both teams are off the back of those two players. So you could really interchange them like clutch players of the year. There was plenty more up there. Obviously, Dame, Steph, LeBron, but like I was trying to kind of focus on the younger teams and the teams that were actually, well, the Kings won a lot of games last year. off the
Mm.
back of De'Aaron Fox's performances. So I think he actually led the league in most fourth quarter points, something like that.
Mm.
Kyrie as well. There's too many. There's too many clutch
Yeah.
players in the league to like really narrow it down to one. But if I wanted the perfect clutch player in terms of youth as well, De'Aaron Fox.
Mm. I got someone you've forgotten about.
Oh, I completely forgot someone.
Raymond Felton.
Wait, what?
Nah, fuck no. Nah. He just came to mind for some reason. I got Shay's. He's my number one clutch player of the year. I think because of the Thunder being my dark horse, and they're gonna push the envelope. Like they're gonna hit some teams and they're gonna have the staying power to go to the end. Um, he'll be super important in those situations. I think he'll have more moments like that. Um, I got Halliburton as well. I think he
Mm,
again Pacers will force some tough games. Um, and he's risen into stardom like crazy. Um, and also him, just signing that contract. It's symbolic. Like he's the guy they're going to be going to. Um, his length as a point guard, his athleticism, like he's going to be able to get tough shots off. His jump shot's a bit weird, but he's going to be able to get tough shots off. I feel like he backs himself
yeah.
way more. I feel like he always actually backed himself, but like now he's got that platform for it. Um, but yeah, what about we got rookie of the year now. I mean, it's kind of obvious with this, but what do you got?
I mean, I've gone Victor then Chet as my backup.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Have you got the same?
I got Vic and then Scoot because I assume Dame's gonna be traded. I'm just fucking waiting for it to happen.
I really don't think he's
Um,
going to get traded anymore.
fuck's
I'm
sake.
starting to lose belief. I'm really starting to lose belief now.
And apparently, like Tatum reached out, didn't didn't work, or that trade didn't go through.
Also,
Sake. Oh, I also had Brunson as well for clutch player of the year, but that's
oh, that's a good one.
another hero there.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I got Vic. Yeah, Vic then Scoot. I didn't consider Chet because I feel like he might take a bit to adjust, especially with you know, his strength. But then again, you could say the same thing about Vic as well. But um,
yeah,
yeah, and coach of the year. Oh yeah, I'm excited to
yeah. I
see
know.
what
Hey,
you got.
hmm.
Yeah, I've gone with Frank Vogel for the Suns. Um, obviously, yeah, very interesting opportunity with that combo guard duo of Beal and Booker. But yeah, I think it can genuinely work. As I said in the Pacific, actually last episode, the Pacific Division preview, I think it can genuinely work. And he's been a part of some solid teams over the year. I got Imi Udoka as well for the Rockets. I think that kind of um, young kind of coach on a team where they just need some guidance, but they've also got some veterans there as well. So I think he'll be able to balance that, veteran and like young gun, those relationships. Um, and I think I think they'll just go for it. Like I feel like there's not going to be a, obviously there's a game plan, but I feel like they will let things fly as well. Like they will let Dylan Brooks go do his thing and poke
Mhm.
the bear. Um, like why not? You don't really have much to lose anyway. You have had an
Yeah,
exciting team this year. You've got some great high picks in the draft. You've got guys that are only getting better. Um, you got everything to look forward to. So I think he'll really let it loose and let the young guys be themselves, but also be that mature presence that's needed to bring everything together. But yeah, who have you got?
yeah. I agree with the may take. He's my backup. Yeah, obviously huge opportunity. You saw what he could do with that Boston Celtics team all the way to the finals before the whole scandal happened. Yeah, he's very much a kind of players coach, I feel. So I think putting players in positions to win is going to be his biggest strong suit, and he kind of saw that in 2022. My coach of the year, though, Mark Daigneault of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Obviously, huge season coming up. Like I said before, multiple players and coach across multiple awards this year. I really think that they're going to have a really good season. And I feel like a lot of people are kind of not ready for how crazy this season's going to be. You got a kind of got a young big four, like a core, and then you've obviously got all these great pieces around you that are kind of ready to win. And I know that this is the youngest team in the league, I'm pretty sure.
Mm.
And not a lot of veteran depth, but I think a lot of these players have matured. They've had a few seasons under their belt, and I definitely feel like the World Cup for Shea, Josh Giddey, um, is really gonna help this team. And I won't be surprised if they um, completely skip the plane and make the playoffs. Like this team can shock a lot of people.
Mm.
Sixth man of the year, I've gone with Emmanuel Quickly. Malcolm Brogdon was
Mm.
first last year, then Emmanuel Quickly second. I would think now that Marcus Smart is gone, that Brogdon will start. And maybe Derek White will come off the bench. I'm not really sure, but I'm basing it off the fact that Brogdon will start. So Quickly's my sixth man of the year. Bit of one that I probably wouldn't have thought to pick, Malik Monk for the Sacramento Kings. Big year last year, and I feel like he's
Oh,
going to have
yeah.
a bigger year this year, especially if Sacramento have that run. I do see Sacramento regressing a little bit just because it's the second season of their rebuild. Sometimes momentum doesn't keep going, so I expect a little bit of aggression, not too much though. But Malik's going to have a big year.
Yeah, I'm on that actually. Yeah. And I'm happy he's someone who who didn't start exactly really well in Charlotte, but he's found a home. Um, I have actually Malcolm Brogdon. Depending on what they do with their lineup, the Celtics, I do think he'll be like really important as part of that
Yeah,
bench. He'll have plenty of free reign. I assume they'll start Derek White. I think that makes sense.
yeah. I mean,
Having Brogdon off the bench. Yeah, I think he'll be a huge option for that. I think CP3 as well. I assume he's going to be off the bench, right?
yeah. I know.
It's
I don't have no idea. I have no
yeah,
idea. Maybe they'll experiment in the preseason, and then you get a better idea once it gets closer to the start of the season.
yeah, true. I don't mind that Malik Monk pick as well, but yeah, I'll go CP3 because I think he'll do well regardless, and I assume he'll come off the bench.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, defensive player of the year. I've got Evan Mobley. I think it's
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Yes,
That's good.
sir.
I fucking knew you were gonna say that.
Finally.
And then I was thinking OG Anunoby, but then again, don't know.
No, I don't think so, bro.
Um, yeah, probably not. Um, yeah, I also I don't. It depends. Obviously, I think Jared Allen can really make a name for himself as well. But obviously, Mobley being there, it's going to take votes away. Um, I think Giannis is going to come back with actually a big like emphasis, especially being kicked out last year. Like that was definitely humiliating for the first seed to be beaten by the eighth. Um, and so I think he'll come back with a vengeance. I don't even think offensively. I think he'll just be like the way he came into the league, he was just this very raw athletic wing, and he was all about defense, right? Like that he would just come on and play a role against the other team's scorer. So I think he'll come back with a bit of a vengeance this year, and a bit more humbled to realize anybody can beat the Bucks. Anybody can, you know, yeah, anybody can be that guy. So I think he'll really be um, ambitious for that, not just for the award, but just on that side of the floor. I think he'll really look to make a difference because they've offensively they are a gun team
Yeah.
regardless. So he doesn't always need to be that. He's the focal point, obviously, but doesn't always need to be that high scorer. Drew Holiday is really like really what's the word? Not I was going to say finessed. He's really refined his game over the
Nice. I
years.
like that word. That's
Yeah,
a word.
refined. Give me
Yes,
that.
sir. Yes, sir.
Who's the teacher here?
Yes.
Yeah, and obviously Chris Middleton coming back. Brook Lopez, another guy who's refined his game with his 3-pointer, and having Malik Beasley off the bench. yeah, I think they're looking great, and Giannis will get that. Will get a couple of votes in Defensive Player of the Year. Who do you have?
As per my reaction previously, Evan Mobley is my winner.
Yeah.
Um, my backup, actually, let me talk about Evan Mobley. This dude is going to control the front court, run the defense, and absolutely going to dominate. Not on just the defensive side of the ball, but if he can, if big if something I've been trying to do in my league is trade Jared Allen to help space out the floor for him to dominate on the offensive side of the ball. I'm going to see Evan Mobley have a big jump. I don't think they'll trade Jared Allen though. Back up if he stays healthy because we know what he can do.
Oh.
Anthony Davis.
Oh no.
Who do you think I was going to say?
I was thinking Ben Simmons, but yeah,
Oh
no,
no,
go.
Anthony Davis,
Yeah.
100%.
Right.
We know what he's capable of. We know what he can do. This is his prime right now.
Mm.
He needs to stay healthy. If he stays healthy and the Lakers play well, this dude is going to be Defensive Player of the Year, and it's going to lead into my MVP pick.
Oh.
So my MVP pick for the 2023-24 season is Luka Doncic.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
But my backup is my smoky is Anthony Davis.
Okay. Yeah. There we go. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Had to do something there. Had to do something there. But no, Luka's going to have a big year. The
Yeah.
Mavs have improved massively. Luka puts up the numbers to win an MVP since he's come in the league, but Dallas don't perform. They've got the team this year. They can definitely win. I mean, he can definitely win. Dallas can make a deep run. Anthony Davis is my backup if all goes well and he stays healthy because we know what he can do. He can't. Oh my God, my fucking dog. He can't do the 31 game and then 8 points the next game. He needs to be a consistent 28 per game 28 point per game scorer, 12 rebounds, 2 blocks and a steal, 3 assists. That's an MVP season. Boom.
Damn. Yeah, I don't mind that. I got Luka MVP. It has to be his year. Has to be his year. And this is more just like I can see it happening. I feel like he'll be frustrated over the past couple of years with not getting there, or just not being the most dominant team.
I know your pick.
Who?
I don't know. I'm gonna Giannis.
No, Devin Booker.
Oh, I like the Devin Booker pick. I like
it's
it.
random. Obviously, the scoring, like you said, what's the term you said before? The scoring is going to be
The scoring spread.
spread. The scoring is going to be spread. Obviously, you got Beal, Durant, to share it with, but I do think he'll have a year where he'll just show like he is that kind of like Kobe-esque player. I mean, he's already shown that, but like he'll really show that. I think even more. I think he's going to mature even more. That's my hope. And be whether it's Bill or whether it's Booker, I think Book will still be that kind of focal point of the offense. Because you don't need to do anything with KD. You don't need to make him the focal point. He's just going to score anyway. He's just going to find his spots regardless. But I think Book at the head of it, he's actually a really, really good passer. And when he's given a shit defensively, he's actually a good defender, I think, from what I've seen. Like sometimes makes immature decisions defensively and like gets too physical. But like then again, that's great, great attitude, great tenacity. And I think he will bring that even further this season. But yeah, hey, good episode.
We just dropped the mic. Bombshell. With the Anthony Davis MVP. No, seriously, guys. Sorry, we had a little bit of a break. We forgot to. Well, we didn't forget. We had this lined up, but we had prior engagements. Not an engagement, but prior engagements. Shout out Lockie for his birthday. So yeah, I'm not sure what we're going to do for the next episode. We'll think of something, but let us know down below, or let us know on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you get your podcasts, who your pick for MVP is this year. As you know, as some of you know, we actually need to add it to to the actual audio version. At the end of, if you watch YouTube, at the end of the video, we kind of have a little bit of a guest speaker. That is happening again. So, and I'm going to show it to Lockie after this episode
Let's
because,
go.
yeah. Thanks everyone for listening, watching. If you're on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff, and we out.
We are. Let's go.
I had one coach, and he used to say, "Put yourself in situations where you're not comfortable."
Oh yeah, that's my favorite saying. That's my favorite saying.